Ayy, Brewski, I'm in my zone like a 2-3. Would sue me, urban gorilla, no Gucci. Yeah, the scriptures I be kicking like Bruce Lee. Check my precepts, raw than sushi. Summertime, so I stay in the cool B. On the corner throwing bumps like I'm Drew Brees. Yeah, tap out for your how we bringing them gas out. Cut a heathen cause he running his fat mouth. Off the dribble, I be balling like.
What's going on? The yard. Okay. You gave her a fire though?
Yeah, she got a fire.
Did she believe in the Bible?
She was talking about like Kanye and stuff.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, about how.
So how do you feel about the issues about that? Have a conversation with you right quick?
Do I gotta go there? Do I gotta walk over?
And how you? Hey, so you were having a conversation with my brother right there, right? So how do you feel about the issue with Kanye right now? It's pretty right, what he's going through, right?
Yeah, they're trying to cancel it because he's talking about white people.
But he's talking about pretty good
He's not
points,
being
right?
anti-Semitic. It's like if you're anti-Semitic, you're gonna be saying like, oh, kill all the Jewish people, like let's start Nazi Germany all over again. That's being anti-Semitic.
No,
Like that.
that's one thing. But I want to point out something, right? These so-called Jewish people, they can't monopolize that word Semitic because they're not the only Semitic people that are walking on this earth.
Can I? Okay, so they use anti-Semitic because you can't be racist towards white people. So anti-Semitic, Buddhism, whatever, that's racism towards white people.
Well, they try to monopolize this. They're saying it's racism against Jewish people. But historically speaking, the so-called Jewish people are not the only Semites that are walking on this earth. So what if I prove to you that Kanye is also a Semite? What if I prove to you that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans aren't also Semites? He can't be anti-himself.
So if you think about it, how is the Palestinians?
They're Semites too.
Yeah, and then look at Israel, what they're doing to the Palestinians. I'm from
They're anti-Semitic.
Yeah,
Right. If you want to really talk about it, right?
Yeah,
Right.
I'm from El Salvador, so there's a lot of Palestinians.
Absolutely. I remember when I was down there, they first came down here in China when the Ottoman Empire fell like in 1915. But and that time we used to call them Turkish. Because that's what they had on their passport. They had Turkish passports. Yeah, there's a lot of Palestinians, but there's a lot of Jewish people in El Salvador too. I remember during the Civil War, there was Jewish terrorism bombing Palestinian communities in El Salvador. I'm talking about radicalized Zionists. Zionist attacks on Palestinian communities in El Salvador. And these people are talking about the whole world's anti-Semite. Let me tell you something. If the Jewish man, woman, and child are they're sitting on the position that they're at right now because all the atrocities that they had did. But see, what they do, they throw a rock and they hide their hands, right? They'll be like, you can't talk bad about us because look what happened in 1945. Hitler killed thousands of those. But they don't want to talk about the millions and the hundreds of millions of Hispanics and Native Americans that the white man had them killed when they conquered this land, man. Right?
Are really like one of the most powerful people on this planet. They literally own they own the music, whatever.
And that's all he was pointing out.
Like, and even before World War II started, they were like the most powerful comedians.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's why
that's all Kanye was pointing out.
Yeah.
My people is being raped by these people. That's all he said. It is the exact truth, right? They reward them to glamorize destruction of their own people. Kill your own people, so don't your own people here. We'll pay you millions and millions of dollars to make you seem cool.
I don't respect Jewish people.
Yeah.
My own grandmother took care of the Jewish community.
Yeah.
And she treated her like shit. Like
Yeah.
that woman. And like, I I really don't give a fuck about you.
You're right. And God feels, and let me show you, let me tell you something, God feels the same way too.
Yeah, and let me say one more thing. That lady, her whole family was killed, all her friends were killed in World War II. Okay. But it's funny, like she survived World War II, whatever, and the bitch was still, she became a millionaire when she came here to America. She opened her fucking business, like painting business. Now her daughter's like one of the richest scientists here in the United States.
But real quick, with the leg up, real quick.
And then what? Did they repay my grandmother for wiping her ass and like feeding her every single day and living with her in her house? Did they repay her? No, they didn't. They just said bye-bye, like thank you, bye, nothing.
Not even a thank you.
No, not even a thank you. Like,
not a thank you.
What a like useless stupid shit. Like just, I don't care.
Let me show you how Jesus Christ feels about Jewish people. Give me Revelations 2:9. Read.
Revelations 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty.
This is the words of Christ, right? He's saying, I know thy works, your tribulations and poverty. He's saying to the children of Israel, to the real Jews, he says, I know your works, your tribulation and poverty, because I know what you're going through. Read.
But thou art rich.
But thou art rich. He said, how can you be poor and rich? Meaning, in this world, the children of God are poor in this kingdom. But you are rich because all the promises of God belong to the children of Israel in the world to come. Read.
And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews.
Because I know the nasty, disgusting lie of them that say they are Jews, but what?
And are not, but are the synagogue of Satan.
But they are the synagogue of Satan. This is the words of Christ. He says, I know that works, tribulation and poverty. Because I know everything that these people, he's also warning us about a group of people that call themselves Jews, but are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. So these people in the land of Israel today are not the real Jews. Christ has warned us about them. That they're fake Jews, that they're not the main chief house of Satan.
Also, if you think about it, modern day Jews, they use World War II and their ancestors,
As a weapon.
Yeah, as a weapon. Like, anyone that survived the Holocaust and all that, okay, I'm going to give them a little bit of respect because, okay, like, you almost got killed and dashed or whatever, like, whatever happened to you there, I'm going to give you a little respect because I don't, but it's like, okay, you survived that. You survived that. We all survived that every day.
Absolutely.
Like, you don't know if you're going to die, like, when you wake up. Like, you could die in our sleep. So, like, okay, they survived that. But, like, the Jewish people of, like, today, they're living, like,
they live in flesh.
They live in flesh. They're white. They have privilege. They have all the privilege in the world. Like we don't have privilege, especially black people. They have no privilege at all. Like, everyone copies what the fuck they do. Like, everyone wants to be, especially white people want to be black. They copy their fucking culture.
Absolutely. They want to be indigenous, they want to be black, Hispanic, but when it comes to the struggle, they don't want none of it.
No, they don't.
Right? You got it.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee. This is verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So this is a long time when Moses talking to the real children of Israel. He said, if you don't listen to the words of God, to the laws of God, read.
To observe, to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Moses is warning the children of Israel, if you don't keep God's laws, all these punishments are going to come upon you. And one of these punishments is what?
This is the one where you're saying you don't know when you're going to die. You know, death is around the corner, right? This is verse 66. And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee, and thou shalt fear day and night, and shall have no assurance of thy life.
See, this is talking about the real children of Israel. The people that call themselves Jews are not going through this. Who's going through this other than the blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans? Every day here in the Americas. We're talking about from North, Central, and South America. We're going through this because we're all the true children of Israel according to the Bible. right? You need to start, you know what I need with the, 32. 42.
This is verse 41. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. All right, here, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people.
Listen, that your sons and your daughters shall be given unto another people. Read.
And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thine hand.
This is what's happening at the border today. Our babies are getting snatched from, ripped away from parents, and guess what? Where do they go to? They get lost most of the times. There's missing children. We're like 1,600 missing children at a time. But most of the time, they go to white families. I remember una señora salvadoreña, she was crying on national TV, fighting for her child. That court went to Superior Court. They gave it to a white family, and she was crying on national TV, tears in her eyes, and saying, "I need my baby." And this is prophesied that this is going to happen to the children of Israel. Show me any time in the world that this is talking about Jewish people. We don't see this talking about Jewish people. This is talking about the Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. That's right. Right? So this is the point I wanted to ask you. This is why I wanted to ask you how you felt about the whole Kanye thing. And this just pinpoints the hypocrisy of white people, especially about the Jewish people.
Because, like, if you think about it, yeah, he's mentally ill, and he was saying dumb things like slavery was choice and like out of pocket. But they didn't cancel him for saying that. But once he started talking about like Jewish people, they're calling him anti-Semitic.
Oh, they want to cancel him for that.
They're canceling him, and they're dropping him from all of like today, like that. And then he started making like white lives matter and like I don't know who they're talking about.
No, but the white lives matter.
Yeah,
that was a troll.
Yeah, that was a troll. He was like taking back and he made money off of that shit. But like, I'm just saying, like, aren't like so many like liberals like anti-Trump?
Yeah.
They still understand. But now when you start saying like this shit, they start being fan like this.
And you know what? And our people are so quick to what's it called? To give up on them. They're like, okay, do whatever, right? They don't care. Our people are so they're so wicked. They don't really. Our people really don't care about each other, man. They love the white man more than they love each other. And this is what's wrong with our people,
that's
right?
why I find it weird when I see like I don't know like
Yeah. But that white lives matter. He did that as to prove a point. He made it known that for sure. It's known. In this kingdom, in this nation, white lives matter. It's of course, it's a given. Apparently, they're the only one that matters in this case. That was his point.
But if you think about it, like our country got colonized by white people, and then it got instilled in our culture to like, oh, praise the white man.
Absolutely.
White culture. So that's why in our culture, like, oh, it's good to be seen as like a white man, marry a white man, like, and this and that. And then they always see like privilege, like I don't know, like a black
yeah.
guy, like, oh, it's bad, like,
No me traes negro en la casa.
like that's bad. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like,
This is what it has been taught to us through colonization and through slavery under the Spanish War. Like, there was something called the caste system, right? And this is where the Hispanic community gets this colorism from, right? They were taught that shit.
also Spanish isn't even our real language.
Absolutely. This is prophesied in the Bible too. Remember that scripture on the flag? Yeah, you know we're talking about. This is one of the punishments. We gotta take into account that this is written thousands of years ago, B.
Okay, this is Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far.
It said, for breaking God's laws, and the Lord is going to bring a nation upon us from far, read,
From the end of the earth.
from the end of the earth. The Spaniards were on the other side of the earth when they came and they invaded us, right, read?
As swift as the eagle flieth.
As swift as the eagle flies. Now, this is a spiritual point right here. Because why is it that every European nation uses an eagle as their symbol? We're talking about imperial Spain, British, Germany, France. If you look at all their escudos, they all had the coat of arms. They all had eagles. But right here in this point, he said that he's going to send this nation from another side of the world upon us as swift as an eagle flies. The Spanish, they use the eagle as a symbol. Read.
A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand.
A nation whose language, la lengua de ellos, the lenguaje, their tongue, we will not understand their language. Read.
Verse 50. A nation of fierce countenance.
A nation with fierce countenance, la cara feroz, right? Read.
Which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
They won't regard the person of old, nor show favor to the young. They won't care about our elderly, and they won't care about our children. They will kill, smite, enslave our elderly people, and all the way down to our babies. Read.
Verse 51. And you shall eat the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy land.
Who's going to eat the fruit of our cattle and the fruit of our land, everything that came from our land, that we're going to benefit off it. Read.
Until thou be destroyed.
So we are destroyed. And this is the reason why through all Latin America, our nations have been destroyed. All our countries. And we don't even got to go that far. Right? We don't even got to go that far from the arrival of the Spanish people. We already see what they did to El Salvador. Right? The American government funded the whole government. Right? They funded the Salvadorian government's government. I'm talking about the death squad, la escuadrones de la muerte. We literally funded that.
And they changed their old currency and made it American dollars. Now that's why the new president literally,
Bukele.
he's Palestinian and South Korean. So now he started the whole like Bitcoin. Now is like big in El Salvador because he wants to start like their own currency in El Salvador.
Yeah.
That's why like America does not like him. So like that's why like a lot of people are afraid they're gonna kill him.
But you know now, you know what though? You know how much a Bitcoin is? How much is a Bitcoin? Does anybody know?
It's like 20,000 right now.
Like 20,000.
Like 20,000?
Yeah.
You know how hard it is for una señora to even get $5
No, so what they do in
How hard? Now imagine who's going to benefit off the Bitcoins in El Salvador?
Oh, so many people are benefiting. So like the little like locations, like when my grandma and cousin went over there, like so many people, so like with foreigners, a lot of foreigners are going over there to like travel or whatever. So a lot of people are paying people like with Bitcoin.
Are they paying regular people Bitcoin?
Yeah, like people that have like they're paying them with Bitcoin like that because they already have like the little like machines. You know how out here we have like Apple or whatever. Yeah, so that's how they pay with Bitcoin. Like that's how they have to get.
But who's receiving the Bitcoin though? Are we talking about like regular like a mom and pop shop, a restaurant? No, I doubt it. I'm thinking about big companies that has been invested with.
Yeah, so
right?
Is working. I don't know what he's doing over there. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But Bitcoin is like really big out there, so people are moving over there because of Bitcoin.
Yeah, because of Bitcoin. But what I'm saying is, la gente pobre, like the poor people they're not seeing the Bitcoin. It's very hard to see American dollars out there. See, I remember when they took the colon away. I remember that. That was like in early 2000s or something. They said that the dollar is going to run with the colon side by side, right? And they slowly took away the Salvadorian money and left the American dollars, which is fucked up, right? Because everything now, like a senora she would have to really work her ass off at the end of the week and only see about like $20. Not even 20, but maybe like $14 a week, right? Now, if they're only seeing that about a week, who's going to see a Bitcoin? Who's gonna ever see a Bitcoin? You're gonna see exactly. You're probably trying. Well, of course, you're gonna push the RFID chip. The RFID chip. You heard that? You ever heard of that, right? The RFID chip, the microchip that people can pay with. This was prophesied in the Bible thousands of years ago too. Give me Revelation 13, and you give me the blue letter, right? So this is all a move to push that worldwide, and it's going to start here in America, here in the United States of America. They're already trying it out in the Netherlands or some shit, right? Northern Europe, but this is another tactic that America has been pushing, especially upon our people. And El Salvador has been a testing ground with American money, and this fucked up El Salvador in the 80s, in the late 70s and the 80s. I lost all my uncles in that war. You got Revelation 13, read.
Revelation 13 and 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor.
He's going to cause all small and great, rich and poor, read.
Free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand.
He's going to make them receive a mark in their right hand, read.
Or in their forehead. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
That no man can buy or sell, only them that have the mark. Now, people, if we read this in English, this part of the Bible, about 2,000 years ago, this was written in ancient Greek. Look what the word in ancient Greek for mark is. Read.
This is Strong's G5480,
Charagma, right? Read.
The definition. Strong's definition, from the same as G5482, a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure.
As a badge of servitude, basically enslaving, read.
Graven mark.
Or graven mark, keep reading. Is that Strong's definition? Now give me the biblical usage, read.
A stamp and imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as the badge of the followers of the Antichrist. The mark branded upon horses.
As mark branded upon horses. This is what they want us to do. This is what they want us to be. Cattle. So this is all that mark is about. Read.
Being carved. Sculpture. Graven work of.
Now give me the root word. Now go to the root word. Because every word in every language has a root word, right? It's a word that every word goes back to a certain word, right? Like industry goes back to industrial, you know what I mean? Right? So that's just an example. So give me the root word for Karagma, read. Yes, Karax.
This is Strong's G5482. Karax.
Biblical usage.
A pale or stake, a palisade, or rampart, pairs between which earthstones, trees, and timbers are heaped and packaged together.
So something that is impaled. So if you see videos on how people are getting the microchip, their hand is being pretty much impaled and it's being not injected, but pretty much stabbing it into their hand. So this is what impale, that word means. Go back to that. For rocks. Root word. A palisade. No. Biblical usage. Pale?
A pale or stake, a palisade.
A pale or a stake. So this is what people used to be impaling in the ancient days with. So this man, he was receiving visions from God, and he was attaching words to what he knew, right? So he's not going to understand what a microchip is. All he was seeing in his vision is people having their hands impaled right, and receiving something, which we in these last days understand that it's a microchip, right? Because going back to the verse, go back to the verse and see what it says.
16 from the top. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor,
All small and great, rich and poor, read.
free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark.
So they want to collapse the world the financial world to move us all to picture the money, right? So the reason I bring us bring up our country is because you say you're Salvadoreño, right? And I can prove that us Salvadoreños, I'm talking about Central Americanos from Guatemala to Panama, we belong to a certain tribe in the Bible, right? The prophecy, we understand these things, right? Because the spirit of prophecy, first and foremost, in Revelations 19 and 10.
This is Revelation 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not.
So John the Revelator, he seen the angel and he fell at his feet to worship the angel. And the angel said, don't do this. Read.
I am thy fellow servant,
Because I am a fellow servant. I'm a servant just like you are, read.
and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Jesus. Worship God. For the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy.
So the testimony of Jesus is the spirit of prophecy. For you to understand prophecy, first and foremost, you have to keep God's laws, right, and believe in Jesus Christ, because that's what Jesus Christ came to the earth to preach, is for us to keep God's laws. So that's how you get the spirit of prophecy. Through the spirit of prophecy, you understand who's who in these last days. Like us Central Americanos, right, we are of the tribe of Zebulon. We need Genesis, read.
This is Genesis 49 and 13. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
He said Zebulon should, you got the map? Read that again, read.
Zebulon shall dwell at the...
Start at verse 1.
Verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together.
So this man Jacob, who had his name changed to Israel, he was dying, right? On his deathbed, he called his 12 sons together. He called them all together, read.
That I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
So he was going to tell his 12 sons what was going to befall their children in the last days. Now give me that.
Verse 13. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
It said that Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea. Right? But this can't be talking about the ancient days. Watch. If you get closer right quick. You see that purple?
Yeah.
That's Zebulon. That's where he used to dwell in the ancient days. But read this verse.
And he shall be or inherit. Zebulon shall dwell at the haven of the sea.
There's no sea next to it, right? Read.
And he shall be for an haven of ships.
He can't be a haven of ships right here because he's a lot there, but he's landlocked. He couldn't be no ships at that time.
And his border shall be unto Zidon.
And his border shall be unto Zidon. Look, Sidon was way up north. You see that point up there where it says Sidon?
Oh, yeah.
So it wasn't even bordering at the ancient days, right? That's it. So this is how we know it's not talking about the ancient days, but in the last days. Even in verse 1 it says, call you in the last days. So how do we know that's Central America? We understand that Central America has so many ports, especially when you deal with the Panama Canal. Just in El Salvador, how many times have you been in El Salvador? We have four ports just in El Salvador. Nicaragua got like another 5. Guatemala got 10 of them. You know what I'm saying? And not just those countries. We're talking about the main artery through all where all ships go through all over the world, is the Panama Canal. So this is how we know it's talking about Central America, and not in the ancient days, right here, because Zebulon didn't have no ships there because they weren't having any ships. So this is how we know that we're talking about Central America from Guatemala to Panama. And we also know why, because give me you got Second Chronicles, First Chronicles.
This is First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 33 of Zebulon, such as went forth to battle, expert in war.
He said of Zebulon, the children of Zebulon, they went out to battle and they were experts of war.
With all instruments of war.
They were experts of instruments of war.
50,000 which could keep rank. They were not of double heart.
And we already know that what was happening through all the 70s and 80s all through Central America. So this is a spiritual gift that the children of Zebulon have. So if you got our flyer, if you got any other questions, we got videos through all there, all right? We got phone numbers. We just out here every Saturday, all right? All praises, all right? You're an Israelite, all right?